All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to go through a company called Sphere3d. Sphere3d is a Bitcoin mining company, or at least they aspire to be. So we talk about Bitcoin and Bitcoin miners quite a bit on this channel. If that's content that you're interested in, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody would please smash the like button, it makes a big difference for the channel. So we really appreciate it. There is a link in our pinned comment below to our free Discord. So we would love to have you over there. We're starting to add some new perks to the Discord. Again, that link is in the description. They issued their first quarter 2022 earnings report yesterday. So I want to go through that earnings report, and basically there's a few critical issues with Sphere3d, and they're the difference between success and failure. So I really want to just target those issues and see if this company is a company that can salvage itself and move on and actually become a Bitcoin mining company, or if it's just too late for them and they're just spiraling down to zero. Okay, Sphere3d reports first quarter 2022 financial results and operational update. Revenue was $1.4 million compared to $0.9 million in the first quarter of 2021. So you can see these guys are not really yet up and running. They have a little bit of revenue. They just started mining some Bitcoin, and we'll get to that. Operating costs and expenses were $16 million compared to $2.2 million last year. Digital mining revenue was $0.7 million. Bitcoin production during the first quarter of 2022 was 18.15 coins. This is the first quarter the company has produced Bitcoin. Okay, so the last bullet point here is net loss from operations of $14.6 million, or a net loss of 0.23 cents per share, compared to last year $2.6 million. So they were gearing up, and they were also gearing up for a merger with Gryphon mining, and that has all fallen through. So that is one of the major events that has occurred for this company. Their stock price and their entire business model at one point was based on the fact that they were going to merge with Gryphon. They are not merging with Gryphon. So they do still have a plan to try to mine Bitcoin on their own, and in that operating plan, they still cite Gryphon as a major partner of theirs that will be helping them with operations. However, they're not going to merge anymore at this point. We are disappointed that we have not yet received the 12 NM440 test units from NuMiner. So I want to just note, this is the first time they have even mentioned NuMiner since they put out their gigantic press release earlier this year that they were going to go to 32 exahash, and they were buying a new machine. They had exclusive rights to it, and it was the best machine ever created. The stock spiked on that announcement. And to me, upon reading the terms and conditions, I was extremely skeptical of the existence of this machine, as well as the deal that they made to buy this machine. Now, they still have some time to deliver these machines. They were supposed to deliver 12 functioning machines prior to June 1st. So it's now the middle of May, and they have delivered 0 machines. You know, I think everybody's going under the assumption at this point that these machines are either not ready to go to market or maybe don't exist. I don't know that. All I can tell you is the CEO of Sphere3d is saying that they have not received yet one single machine from this company, and they ordered 60,000 machines starting with 12 up front prior to June 1st. So she then says, it is important to keep the NuMiner arrangement in perspective. The agreement to acquire NM440 fleet was a low-risk option to purchase what was presented as the best mining technology in the industry. If the NM440 units are not received or fail to perform according to NuMiner specifications, the company can cancel the contract. So I think they're pretty much letting you know right now they can get out of this. They only put a little money up front, so whether they get that money back or not, I don't think is the big issue. But I think this is the first time management has acknowledged and is kind of signaling very strongly that this is probably not going to happen, although they clearly have not ruled it out with this statement, but it's starting to look extremely unlikely, which is what the market and the investment community already expected. So just so that everybody remembers, this was the NuMiner 440. It was later determined that this is basically a Photoshop picture of somebody else's machine that they put together, and it is no longer even listed on the NuMiner website, this photo. So again, there was a massive amount of skepticism surrounding this machine, and so far, they have 13 days left to produce a machine, or else that contract is canceled. During the quarter, we announced the termination of the Gryphon merger. It is our belief that terminating the merger was in the best interest of our shareholders, as the transaction was expected to cause significant dilution and is also in the best interest of our long-term growth opportunities. Looking forward, our mining fleet will expand consistent with the amended delivery schedule below, and our production capacity will increase accordingly. We are working with Jefferies LLC, our financial advisor, to identify the most appropriate financing options to fund the expansion of our fleet, and we are exploring new growth areas in the cryptocurrency and blockchain industries. I want to skip down and show you this delivery schedule, because outside of the 60,000 machines that they were going to buy from NuMiner, they had already placed an order and a large deposit on 60,000 S19J Pros. So you'll see, unfortunately, right now, received an operational 1,000. So only 1,000 of these 60,000 have been received and are up and running. And that is why they only mined 18 Bitcoin in the first quarter of 2022. So this month, they're supposed to receive another 2,000. These big deliveries really don't kick in until September of 2022. So September, October, November, December, if all of those happen on schedule, they will have 60,000 miners, and that will put them at 6 exahash, and that would make them a large Bitcoin miner at that point. So that would put them on target with a lot of the top tier Bitcoin miners in North America that are publicly traded. However, there is a big problem, and that problem is so far they've only received 1,000 of these 60,000, and they owe a lot of money on these machines. The prepayments and payment of total purchase price are not refundable, save as otherwise mutually agreed by the parties. The remaining amount of $203.9 million is payable over the next 6 months. So this is their dilemma. They owe $203.9 million in order to get these 60,000 machines. Now, it is unclear from the language right here as to whether or not they will receive machines up to their $101 million deposit that they've already given, or if by not fulfilling the remainder of the contract, they will lose that deposit and not get those machines. So that's a critical factor. Even if they were to get somewhere in the neighborhood of a third of these machines, that would maybe put them at around 2 exahash by the end of the year. So it's likely that management is anticipating getting out of the contract with NuMiner. So that means they've received 1,000 of the 120,000 machines that they have ordered, 60,000 of which are probably going to go away. It's these 60,000 S19J Pros that we're going to have to see if they can find a way to get their hands on. And they said they are working with a financing partner to see if they can get some more money. But I want to take a look at their balance sheet. Their balance sheet is actually quite strong. Unfortunately, they don't have the cash on their balance sheet to pay for these machines. So you'll see total current assets is $62 million. Total assets is $264 million. The company only has total liabilities of $7.7 million. So this is an extremely strong, healthy balance sheet. The problem is this $108 million, $107 million of that are deposits on machines that we're going to have to see how that all plays out. Because you'll see in mining equipment, they only have $4 million worth of mining equipment. Most of the Bitcoin miners that we look at, even the small ones, have somewhere around $150 million in mining equipment. Some of the larger ones have over $1 billion in mining equipment, and these guys are at $4 million. So despite the fact this is a very healthy balance sheet, I'm just not sure where they're going to come up with another $200 million. If we look at this company, their market cap is $63 million. So I'm just not sure who's going to loan them money to that extent to get their hands on another $203 million. So to me, that is the gigantic question mark. And it is not just my question mark. In their financial statements, you will see liquidity and going concern. Management has projected that cash on hand may not be sufficient to allow the company to continue operations beyond November 30th, 2022. So something has to give, and we're going to find out in the short term. So I don't know the answer to this question. You can see this is a gigantic question mark. It's why their stock has plunged so radically. So if we look from their all-time high back in August when they announced they were going to merge with Gryphon Mining, and remember, that merger never occurred, through to today, this company is down about 91%. So that is a little bit more than the rest of their Bitcoin mining peers, which are down more like 75%. If I measure from November 15th, when all these Bitcoin miners were at their recent 52-week high, they're still down about 85% right now. So the market has built in a giant question mark as to whether or not these guys are going to be able to get the money necessary to go forward. So again, I'm not going to give any price targets or anything for this company. I'll just look at one more number. If you go from the beginning of April until today, so that's about a month and a half, they're down about 65% in the last month and a half. So you can see this continues to cascade downwards. So essentially, they've given us a full update of what's going on, and the bottom line is we are going to have to wait to see if they can put a business plan together to get some of these machines up and running and start cash flowing, because otherwise, they've already given us a heads up that this all could end in November of 2022. So again, this is not financial advice. Please be extremely, extremely careful with this one. They've already issued a going concern warning. So this is a highly speculative play. They are down over 90% from their highs from last year. They're down 65% just in the last month and a half. So I think that brings us up to date with the situation on what's going on with ANY. So please invest wisely. If you made it this far, thanks so much. And please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thanks again, and we will see you in the next video.